Joined by head coach South Plains College track and field team, Coach Chris Beene joins us, the coach. Another good effort, Texas Relays. Boy, you guys put up some numbers in what is really a good meet. It's a big meet. There's a lot of people involved. Let's talk a little bit about how you fared there.
It was a good meet. I think when we left there feeling high on certain things and disappointed in other things. You always want to leave there healthy, and we got a couple of kids that are a little banged up from that, and nothing long term, but a couple of kids we're going to have to rest a little bit and get them back. The sprint medley on the men we won and set a school record there. Our women's sprint medley was a school record. Jura ran well in the 100, and had she got any kind of start at all, she got left in the blocks and ran 11:10, and she would have been up there with the leaders, and the leader I think won it in 10:94, so it was very fast. And then our girl Katie Ann Dunkley set another school record in the steeple. And then trying to think, I know our women's 4x4 ran 3:31, and which was very fast, and we're checking to see if that's a national record, because there's a couple of different records out there. We're not sure which one's the correct one. So it was a good meet for us. I mean, we did have some good stuff. Field events, we did some good things, but there were some things. We wanted to win the women's sprint medley, and we got edged out Arkansas there, and so that was a little disappointing. But you're right, overall it was pretty good.
You talk about being banged up in track and field. This is a whole different animal than I think most any other sport. You start talking about a little bit of a twisted ankle or a tweaked knee, something like that. That changes everything for track and field sprinter. Football guys go out and throw 14 pounds of tape on it, and, especially if you're a lineman, you just go out there and slug it out. But for runners, right. boy, an injury can really change things. Pretty dramatic. No,
it can. A wide receiver in football, if they're 10% less because of a hamstring injury or something, they can still come across the middle and catch a football or two if they're good enough. But with us, it's high performance every week. You've got to be able to run at full speed, and so you get a kid with a little bit of a strained hamstring or something like that, and you go out there and try to push on it, and all you're doing is looking at a major pull, and then now the kid's done for 6 or 8 weeks. So we have to kind of watch our kids a little bit, a little bit more, and ours is a little different than some of the team sports where you have people that come off the bench and play the same position. Well, in 100 meters, you got 3 kids, and 3 can go to nationals, and one of them's gone. There's not somebody you just plug into that position. So you really have to baby them a little bit at times and get them back.
Speaking of management, you get through the Texas Relays. What's the next plan on the schedule here for you coming up with the track and field team?
We'll go to UTEP this weekend and go back there. It's going to be a little different meet. I know Alabama is going to be there and some other schools. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a list yet of all the schools that'll be there, but I know Alabama's coming, so it'll be a pretty good meet with UTEP and some of the other schools that normally come. And then the weekend after that, we're going to go to Baylor. So the next 2 weekends are pretty good weeks for us.
Track and field also changed a little bit. You talked about the injuries and not being able to plug somebody in. Just say, okay, you're running the 100 today. Doesn't work that way. But the benefit is, as you qualify people for the nationals, you can sit people down and rest them. How do you feel like that situation is? You got enough people qualified already? Or are there people you can sit and give them a little time off? Where are you at there?
No, qualifying wise, we're in pretty good shape. I think we looked it up the other day, and there's 3 or 4 kids that need to still qualify that we feel can get that done in the next couple of weeks. But for the most part, we've qualified into what we need to qualify in. So that part of it is good. But it's with us, it's more of a kind of a sharpening issue. Indoor season lasts a while, and you finally take some time off, and you get back, and then outdoors kind of goes so quickly that you don't want to miss too many. And Texas Relays, not everybody gets to go. It's mainly our relays. Our field event kids don't typically get in there as much.
Sure.
So you're to the point now where you got the next 2 weeks meets and a weekend off, and then you have a home meet here, and then a weekend off at nationals, and so it's here before you know it. So you get a little chance to rest, but you don't want to miss too much training, and you certainly don't want to miss an opportunity to sharpen the kids for nationals.
Sure, and like you said, it kind of becomes that tightrope. Do I rest somebody and let them heal? Do I keep them plugged in there to try to push them a little further? Well, you guys really have a lot of management detail involved in this. When frankly, it looks like a pretty easy sport. I shoot a gun, you run, and run fast, turn left.
Right.
Is the old
that would be my wife's philosophy of track and field. Just tell them to run faster. but it's, you know, mine and Coach Wiley's philosophy have always been that, you know, if you're gonna miss it on the rest of them and making sure that the kid's got a full battery and the talent can come out of them. So that's always kind of been the philosophy. So if there is a situation where, you know, do you push it, do you not push it, you know, we always tend to be a little more careful with them to make sure they're healthy. You know, most coaches will seem to think that every workout they ever do, that if you miss one, the world fell apart, but that's not really the truth. You know, if you miss a few here and there, you're probably still okay. I mean, it's when you miss weeks at a time that things
Sure.
start to go away, and you know, if you miss one or two here, you know, sometimes the kids just need that rest.
All right, Coach. Just saves out of time for this one. Any final thoughts for us before we let you get ready to pack it up, head for the next meeting?
Not really this time, man. I'm really excited about the next couple of, you know, weeks and seeing what we can do. Baylor's going to be a real good meet for us. We're going to, you know, a chance to test. You know, Rondell Bartholomew, our kid that ran 44.65, and that's the #1 time in the world, I think, still in the quarter. He's going to have a chance to run with some very, very good people at Baylor. So maybe even a chance to run under 44.50 if the weather holds up and does well for us. So, you know, we've got some things like that coming up where some of our kids that are, you know, elite are going to have a chance to really compete against, you know, kids that can push them.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks for dropping by. I look forward to catching up with you next week.
You bet.